Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat sejahtera. Nama saya Nabila Aisyah binti Mohd Shukri. Nama Matric AW190084. Video ini adalah untuk subjek Computer Programming, di mana saya dikendaki membuat satu assignment yang bertajuk Python Review Assignment. Assignment ini atau tugasan ini dibahagikan kepada 3 bahagian. Pertama, saya harus mencari satu Python video dan harus react video tersebut. Bahagian kedua, saya harus buat coding yang sama dengan video tu buat. Dan bahagian ketiga adalah saya kena review balik apa yang saya dah buat dengan coding tu dan buat satu kesimpulan untuk keseluruhannya nanti. Jadi video Python yang telah saya pilih adalah daripada YouTube channel Teach with Team, iaitu yang bertajuk Python Resume Project You Can Finish in a Weekend. Dalam video ini, secara overview saya tengok sebelum ni adalah dia describe pasal 2 projek Python. Satu adalah Sudoku dan satu lagi adalah pathfinding. So, saya decide untuk buat Python project Sudoku sebab dia relate dengan matematik. Link video yang saya akan react ni saya akan letak di description. Jadi bila masa anda free nanti anda boleh tengok video asalnya. Okay, jom sama-sama kita react. Okay, sama-sama.
Hello everybody and welcome back. So in this video what I'm going to be doing is sharing with you 2 awesome Python projects that are super easy to complete, that look great on your resume, and that you can finish in just a few hours or 1 weekend. Now these 2 Python projects I've made a long time ago and I still have them on my resume today just because of how much they really show the knowledge that you gain from completing these kind of projects, and they really do demonstrate your problem-solving ability and a lot of other skills that an employer is looking for on your resume and when you're going in for an interview. So the reason these projects are so great is because they actually demonstrate specific areas and specific skills related to computer science, as well as showing that you're a good developer, you know how to create a user interface, you know how to do these different things. So anyways, without further ado, what I'm going to do is actually hop on my computer, walk you guys through the source code of these 2 projects, how to make them properly, give you some inspiration. But first, just a quick word from our sponsor.
Okay.
The sponsor of today's video is Kite, the AI autocomplete engine for Python. Kite is a free plugin for your IDE or text editor that uses machine learning to give you the best possible completions. It runs an advanced statistical model on your computer while you type to order your completions by relevance, so you get shown the best ones first. It saves you tons of time with features like intelligent snippets that allow you to complete entire lines of code. One of my favorite features of Kite is called Copilot, a companion coding window. This window shows you relevant documentation while you type and based on your cursor location. The best part of Kite is that it's free and you can download it from the link in the description. Alright, so the first project I'm going to introduce to you here is a Sudoku solver, I'm not quite sure how you say that. So essentially what this program does is finds a solution to any solvable game. Now, you might not know what that game is, but you guys will see it in a second. It's not very complicated. It should refresh your memory when you see it. I started this project originally by just creating a text version of this. You can see here, like I have a function that just solves a Sudoku board. It says solves a Sudoku board using backtracking. The algorithm I use is backtracking. I'll talk about that later. You have a few functions here, and this isn't very long. This is 100 lines of code, and all this does when I run it, and you'll have a look at the output here, is it essentially goes from a board that looks like this, where there's a bunch of zeros, which essentially means we don't have a number there, and it finds a correct answer to that board. And that's what this does. And it follows the rules of Sudoku to solve this, and it happens pretty much instantly. So I started the project by creating this. And we'll talk about the actual source code in a second, but then I moved and I said, okay, I want to make this a little bit more complicated, a little bit more visual, something that is cooler to look at and that makes, more sense on a resume. So I created a GUI version of this, a graphical user interface. I'm going to run this for you. That's not only actually a solver, but it allows me to actually play the game. As you can see here, what I can do is choose some position. Maybe I'll choose here. I'm trying to think of a number that actually works. I'm going to put 3 and hit enter. And since 3 was not correct in that position, we can see that it gets removed. That it doesn't work there. Let's just try 3 here. That doesn't work. There's an X that goes to the bottom. 3 here. There we go. 3 is correct. We can put it down here. So what I can actually do is play the game of Sudoku, and you can see I can kind of bubble in my letter here. I can put some like where I think the numbers should go. If I want to delete one, I can hit del on that key. And then at any point in time, if I want to solve, what I can do is press the space bar. When I press the space bar, we see that it just goes and solves the board and actually gives a nice visual of how it's solving it. You can see it will step forward and try to create a solution, and as soon as that solution is no longer valid, it will backtrack and change any numbers it needs to come up with a valid solution. So here you can see now we have a fully solved board. If I haven't messed anything up, and I don't think I did, then this will follow the rules of Sudoku, and that's how this project works. So I'm just going to walk you guys quickly through some of the source code here and explain to you where you need to start to actually achieve this project, to create this project, and we need to learn to do so. Now, this project is really built on the backtracking algorithm. This is a really great example of how to apply backtracking, which is a somewhat complicated but very, very powerful algorithm for solving constraint satisfaction problems. And the goal here is while you're creating this project, what I want you to start by doing is creating a text-based version to learn how to use the backtracking algorithm and to learn how to actually solve a Sudoku board. And you can actually represent your information in the board, you can traverse the matrix, and you can come up with some kind of solution. Then you can move into a more advanced concept, which is the GUI, right? And I've created this GUI using PyCharm, which is a pretty easy module to learn in Python for doing some basic visualization. But if you're working in a different language or you're using a different library, that's totally fine. Once you know the backtracking algorithm, creating the GUI is as simple as just some tedious drawing steps and a little bit of trying how to represent each cube, and if they have like the thing on in the corner, stuff like that. But anyways, it's not very complicated. I would tell you this whole project probably took me about 5 to 6 hours, and maybe an hour before that just learning what backtracking was and kind of coming up with that. But these are great projects to show off on your resume, to show your skills, and to really talk about during kind of an interview, or even on your resume and say, hey, I learned this from this project. It was really exciting. This backtracking algorithm is awesome, and just showing that you're learning and you're going out there and you're taking initiative to create projects. That being said, let's get into the next one, which is also a very cool project. In the next project,
bagi saya dia macam agak sukar dia punya coding, tapi walaupun sukar, dia boleh buat sebab dia akan tunjukkan step nanti dan bila kita run je nanti, at the end tu, result dia, hasil apa yang kita dapat, membuahkan hasil yang baik lah. Dia coding tu menjadi, coding tu tak ada masalah, tak ada yang tersilap ejaan ke ataupun verbal tak betul ke ataupun tak di-define ke dalam PyCharm or Python ni, tak ada. Masalah macam tu tak ada. So, dikira okay dan boleh buat. Jadi bagi saya projek ni, walaupun coding ni je lah yang agak sukar, macam banyak 100 lebih semua, tapi still boleh buat asalkan kita determine buat benda tu. Macam kalau yang basic tu of course lah kena tahu, but macam yang detail-detail tu boleh tengok buku, tengok rujukan balik untuk kita fahamkan balik apa yang, kalau ada yang tak faham tu boleh recheck balik ke, and then take note then the thing that we not understand that, so that we can learn it in the future. Projek ni, Python projek ni bagus dan saya suka. Lagipun saya suka main Sudoku, tapi dulu-dulu main dekat kertas je. Sekarang ni dah boleh buat sendiri. Kita create sendiri Sudoku tu, and then jawapan tu of course bila kita create, jawapan tu kita pun tahu lah kan. So it's more easier. Kalau macam dulu, susah nak kena fikir. Lepas tu bila dapat jawapan tu pun kita buat tu, kita rasa betul tapi mungkin tak betul lagi sebab kita tak tahu jawapan yang betul-betulnya. So bila kita create sendiri ni, kita tahu jawapan, lagipun komputer lebih detail, lebih gitu dia punya answers. So, I recommend that this one. Sudoku best and this project Python also best. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sekali lagi, sekarang saya di bahagian ketiga assignment ini adalah ini bahagian untuk saya review balik coding yang saya dah buat based on video reaction yang saya tengok sebelum ni. Kalau kita tengok sini, dia tulis import PyCharm. So sebenarnya kalau dalam PyCharm yang biasa, PyCharm ni tak ada, package dia tak ada lagi. So kalau nak buat coding untuk this project, Sudoku project ni, kita kena download dulu dia punya package. Nak download package dia tu, kena pergi dekat settings. After that, kita pergi dekat Python interpreter. After that, tekan plus ni untuk install the package. And type dekat search ni adalah PyCharm. So bila keluar ni, nanti dia akan keluar description. After that, kita akan tekan install package kat sini, dekat bahagian bawah ni. After that, tunggulah dalam beberapa second untuk dia download benda tu. And bila nanti dia akan keluar noti dekat bahagian bawah, dia akan bagi tahu lah successfully install. Lepas tu boleh close and then tekan OK. Bila dah tekan OK, bila dah ada PyCharm tu, barulah kita boleh start buat coding untuk project Python project Sudoku ni. After that, saya tak akan terangkan semua sebab dia banyak, lagipun 100 lebih baris coding dia. Jadi ni adalah yang coding nombor yang akan ada dalam kita punya Sudoku tu nanti. And then tekan run. Kita klik run. Bila kita klik run akan keluar macam ni. Kejap Jadi contohnya bila kita tekan kat sini 3, contohnya kita tekan 3, lepas tu kita tekan enter, dia akan keluar tanda pangkah. Itu bermaksud jawapan kita 3 tadi tu adalah salah. Jadi dia akan keluar pangkah. Contohnya kalau kita nak tahu jawapan yang betulnya untuk setiap box ni, setiap box kecil-kecil ni, kita tekan space bar. And then bila tekan space bar, dia akan keluar jawapan yang betul lah untuk semua box-box tu. So bila dah keluar semua jawapan, maknanya tu adalah jawapan yang betul. And then dah siap kita punya project. Dan project kita dah siap. So apa yang saya boleh cakap pasal coding ni, memang dia sukar sebab panjang dan banyak nak kena type. Tapi bila kita run tu, kita nampak hasil dia. Bagi saya, dia membuahkan hasil yang sangat bagus lah. Dia membuahkan hasil yang memberangsangkan. Macam kita pun rasa puas hati, coding kita betul, tak ada yang type error, tak ada miss tulisan macam huruf besar, huruf kecil ke, capital letter semua tu, dot, nokta, tanda koma, tanda seru ataupun nota bertindih ke, semua tanda-tanda tu bila kita buat dengan betul, kita akan dapat hasil yang betul, hasil yang tepat lah, hasil yang sesuai dengan apa yang kita telah usahakan. Bagi saya, projek ni bagus. Lagipun saya memang suka main Sudoku. Dulu masa kecil-kecil main Sudoku di atas kertas je. Sekarang kita dah boleh buat Sudoku tu sendiri, guna komputer, guna laptop kita sendiri. And then kita pun kita akan dapat jawapan dia secara automatiknya sendiri juga. Jadi tak perlu macam perah otak, tak perlu bergantung lebih kepada otak kita. Kita boleh bergantung lebih kepada komputer. Itu sahaja video daripada saya. Saya harap video ni menjawab soalan kepada tugasan yang telah diberikan oleh doktor. Harap doktor fahami dan suka akan video ni. Sekian, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera.